Hi there, welcome to today's website review. Today we're going to be taking a look at beadsdirect.co.uk. Before we get into that, let me just explain. My name's Chloe Thomas. I am the author of the eCommerce MasterPlan, your 3 steps to successful online selling. And you can find out all about that at ecommercemasterplan.com and pick up a copy, as well as find out details of all our different ways of helping inspire you, enlighten you and guide you to create your great e-commerce business. The outline of the eCommerce Master Plan is these 3 core steps. So first of all, identifying what sort of e-commerce business you are, establishing those core foundations that are at the centre of any successful e-commerce business, and also answering the age-old question, I have built it, why haven't they come yet? i.e. getting your marketing plan in place. Now today we're purely focusing on the first part of the second step, which is all about building the right website. So we're going to be running through some reviews, a review of the website Beads Direct, in order to give you a few tips and tricks for things you might want to do with your website. Beads Direct is a bit different to most of the reviews we've done so far, in that Beads Direct is a very busy website. They are I think the #1 seller in Europe of bead and beading and jewellery making products. So this is a very busy website, so a bit of a step change from what we're normally doing. Predominantly an online only business, and they have a very niche product range scale in that they purely provide products for making jewellery. The USP, I'll be honest, I'm not entirely certain of, having had a very quick look at the homepage. It's somewhere between a mixture of the brand, in that they're very, very well known in their industry, and the knowledge and information that they're increasingly moving into. They do a lot of work to inspire their customers. So let's get on with taking a look at their website. And here it is. This is the Beads Direct homepage. As you can see, there is a lot going on this website, partly because there's a vast quantity of jewellery going on here. Vast quantity of jewellery making products, that is, I should say. I should also say up front, I am not an expert in this industry, so there's going to be bits which I don't understand as we go through here, because I'm not familiar with all the terminology, which actually makes this quite a nice review, because it means I should be able to come up with lots of bits and pieces that could help them bring on more of those people who want to get into crafting. So what we can see right now is we've got quite a nice search button going on at the top there, with a category options drop down. We've got a perpetual basket top right there, so we've got a shopping bag which is going to tell us how many items we've got there, as well as the value. So that's giving us some good key information. We've got the telephone number, help and contact information going on up the top there. We've also got the guest information, so they seem very keen to get us to log in. We've got this rather random line of information going along here, which looks a little bit like they've desperately tried to get in the free delivery information and the fact they're Europe's #1 online bead retailer. Now, there's that line of text tells us 3 very powerful things about Beads Direct. It gives us their strapline, delivering your creative inspiration. It gives us the proof that they're big, which is a big important message. Europe's #1 online bead retailer who are now shipping worldwide. And it tells us that if all I've got to spend is 30 quid to get free delivery. But because they're just in that one line of text, we're missing those messages. They are nowhere near as strong as they could be, as all 3, or certainly the second 2, are very strong builders of trust to encourage you to buy from them. Delivering your creative inspiration should really be up there with the logo. It looks like quite an important message, and it really does say we're not just selling beads, we're giving the inspiration for your next project, your next piece. So I think that line could be a lot stronger for them. But with so much cramming into that header, it's quite tricky to work out exactly how you might want to do it. I'd be tempted to totally redesign the header, actually, to make sure it's all in the right areas. And right now, the most powerful button in that header area is the one that says checkout. And as I've currently got nothing in my shopping bag, I'm not yet in a position to check out, so I'd tone that one down a little bit as well. One other thing I'd say in here is that we've got from what I can see on the screen right now, we have two different colours of button. We've got red buttons, which are the nice big fat calls to action going on this rotating banner that's in front of us. So that's nicely driving me into sell. We've got the same with the checkout one I mentioned a few seconds ago. And then the go button is in green, which is all a little bit too passive for something that's helping me buy. So because that's one that's helping me buy, I would make that pink in the same style as those other big fat call to action banners that we've got going on. And then you can leave your softer banners like the email sign up, which is quite nice and clear down there, leave that just in the green colours. Other thing which I'd be tempted to change on here at the moment would be the colour of sale. So sale is very much purple. Red tends to work better, but at least it's standing out nicely because because it's almost a graphical image. Oh, that's quite funky. We'll come back to that in a minute. So that's quite nice, and that it does stand out a lot more above and beyond the other categories we've got here. We'll look at categories and what happens when we roll over the middle later on. We've got these rotating banners, which we've got an as featured in jewellery magazine. We've got a get everything you need to make this particular bracelet, which looks like it's in the sale as well, and we've got 1,000+ beads in the summer sale. So quite a solid message there. I would, depending on how far you are through the sale at the moment, I've been tempted to make everything about the sale and save the featured in until another date, because sale's really powerful. So if it's right at the beginning, the first week or so of your sale, I'd be heading everybody in there. If it's later in the sale, then by all means leave it a bit more, mix up those messages a bit more. Depends where you are in that process at the moment. Now, this next section here on the homepage, considering that we're on a website that's all about craft and inspiration, that's quite a boring looking screen. I know we have to, beads are quite tiny and are quite hard to make very exciting and attractive on a homepage like this, but I would be trying just to lift this a little bit at the moment. It's quite uninspiring as a view, but then look at Amazon and they do incredibly well. So maybe this is the right way to go. We've got this text here which looks rather like it's been done for SEO purposes. I wouldn't like to say how much help that's giving you, and I would have thought that in terms of for customers, you'd be better off making this text something which talks about your great reputation, how you can help them, and those USP tenets, which are really going to bring people back and make people trust you and want to buy from you. If you're going to leave it like this, I'd make sure these are linking through to the things that people might be interested in. So if they're reading this and seeing glass beads, they can click straight through to glass beads. We've got quite a serious list of categories down here. What leaves me a little bit confused is that we've got quite a hodgepodge going on. So we've got it's titled with browse, and then we've got one which is in capital letters, which is Swarovski Elements. Don't know if those are beads or not because we've got beads up here. Jewelry findings. I have a vague recollection that these might be fastenings and such things. Not sure. Don't think they're beads though. We've then got some which are beads, some which are kits, wire and thread. We then go into chains, different types of chains, charms and pendants. We've then got something called crafts, which is quite different. Clasps, books and magazines, tools. So it's quite a mishmash of different things in here. And I'm wondering what speciality beads are, considering we've got lots of different types of beads. And we've got take a make break, no idea what that is. Feature products, the sale, and then new beads as well. So I'd be very tempted to reorganize this into maybe one box which has got all your beads, one which talks about the kits and the other making tools, one which talks about craft and other things. Because at the moment it's a little bit hard to navigate your way through because it's not even elements of it are A to Z, but not everything's A to Z. And then we've got big important things like summer sale and new. and featured products as well, just kind of hanging around at the bottom here. So there's some work that could be done to make that browse section a lot stronger. Over here we've got a nice special offer. I hope that that is a big seller in the sale, or something which you've got a lot of depth that you want to get through. And then here we've got the most popular items, where we have featured products and we have popular items. And in here we can scroll through. Now, that's quite nice to enable people to quickly be able to see the products. I would be tempted just to have one selection here, because I'm not convinced people are going to be using these tags to go from featured to popular. I'd be tempted to just have one set, or to have two separate windows. They're immediately visible, one of which has the attractive and interesting beads, and one of which has, the most popular items are actually these creative, not so interesting but quite essential to your jewellery making items. Then I'd be very tempted to have them as two separate sections, one which is featured beads and one which is popular items. The reason I've been a little bit hesitant going through that is because there's some quite intriguing options going on this page. We've got the ability to add products right to the basket from here. I would love to know how many people take them up on this offer, use this particular piece of functionality. Because my guess is it's either going to work very, very well, or it's going to be one of those things that just confuses people and they never use. So that whole little section here, great to have products on the home page, but there's a lot of complexity going on that I'm, without fully understanding the customers, I wouldn't like to say whether they are or are not using. Then down here we've got the what's new for August, which again is the same format, and is quite nice and attractive with some big buttons here. All the way down here we then have an award section and a leave feedback option. That's a really funny coloured button compared to other ones. I'd be tempted to tie that in with your email sign up green ones. This is great, the awards bit, because it's great to show that bit of social proof, but again we've got a different kind of heading format going on here with it all being very, very grey. Customer recommendations, great, but that should be pink like our other let's buy items. We've got come and join our Facebook family, which is going to take us through to the Facebook page. Green button, yes. Heading, I suppose all of these ones down on this side do have these greyed out headings. No, I'm not currently logged in, so we'll leave that one for the minute. Then right the way down here we have a how to get started. I would be wanting to see that somewhere up here, because what we're really missing from this first view is anything about how to go about making jewellery. I'll come back to that in a minute. Actually, we'll just finish off with what else is down here. And then we've got these inspirations, which I guess is the here it is, and here's how to work your way through it. Here's how to create that product. And we've got some nice comments about service and websites. We've got some nice testimonials coming through. Down here we've got our headline information, the normal sort of things you're going to find in the footer, which has some nice messages here, which actually could well be made more of. I mean, this FIFO, wow, they've got 99% customer service excellence on FIFO. Man, I'd be putting that in the header. I'd have that right up here, right by the checkout button. 99% of our customers love what we do. put it right there by the point where you're deciding you want to buy. Definitely move that up. We've got nice trust building logos here to confirm how secure the site is, what payment methods they take, and we've got all these follow buttons, sorry, for all the different social media items down there. Oops, I've just clicked on the add this, which is popped up. Now, what I was going to be saying earlier about these categories is we've got quite a lot going on up here. We've got the design center, which I guess is the inspiration and the knowledge part. We've also got the really rather dull categories item. We've got colors, shapes, brands, and what's new. Now, one of the things which we've seen further down the page is that there's quite the most popular items, if this section is to be believed, are those which are actually to do with creating the jewellery, whereas the featured products tend to be more around the beads. Now, what I don't have up here is a category or anything here which is taking me to non-bead items, be it kits, wire and thread, chains, clasps, etc. So I would be quite tempted to alter the structure up here and potentially either have something which has all categories, all areas, although as we've seen earlier, these are quite different types. I'd be tempted to change this to tools and wires, or tools and findings, or tools and clasps. Then have this is shop by colour, shop by shapes, shop by brands, and then maybe add an additional one which is bead categories. You probably need a better name than that, but to go into the bead categories. So there's quite a lot which I think could be done on that page to make it help get people into the right areas faster, make it a bit easier for people to be navigating through the site. Actually, I'm just quite slightly intrigued by this one. Yeah, see, this gives us absolutely everything, which is not. If I could have as that category drop down the opportunity to search in the inspiration areas of the site, in the beads, and amongst the items which are essential for making jewellery but which aren't beads, be they tools, wires, etc., I'm not quite sure what you call them, that would make it a lot easier. As it is, I've got to be able to decide whether I want acrylic, bead kits, etc. before I can use the search function. So, wow, we've actually spent about 15 minutes running through that one. So there's an awful lot on the home page I'd be looking at altering. I'd make a lot more of the customer testimonials because they're fantastic, and I would make the buttons a lot clearer, and I'd really try and focus in on the right products and get those navigational structures right. Having done all that, let's go in and have a look into one of these categories and see what's going on. So how about some glass beads, I think. Wow. Who knew there were so many different types of glass beads? That's excellent. Now, what I like about this page is that, and I'm going to try and avoid repeating comments I made already, is that this is really attractive. We've got some really attractive images which hopefully, to those in the know, help them work out which areas they want to be going into, because crystal glass, cracked crystal, check glass means very little to me, so hopefully those are the right ways to be categorizing glass beads to enable people to go through. Assuming that, I would hope that these two are the sets of beads that you sell the most of. These should be the best-selling subcategories in the glass beads arena because they've got such a prominent position. And hopefully, I mean, it might be luck, but the special offer we've now got in this category is another glass bead. So hopefully those are tying together. Because down here, we've got a number of new for August which I'm not sure. Yeah, see, these ones aren't the glass beads. So you've got someone who's come through to look at the glass beads. I would be making sure that the product selection you've got down here is the glass beads that you're talking about above, so people can get through into that. Now, on the basis that maybe we have this wherever we go, if we go into acrylic, we're going to get the same scenario. Yeah. Talking about how we change these is, if someone's coming in and they know they want large acrylic beads or letter beads in cubes, why aren't we giving them that at this point? So we have a category drop down that gives us acrylic beads, and then from that zooms out into the subcategories. That would get people through to the place they want to get to a lot quicker. And the faster someone can find what they want, the faster they're going to be buying from you. So let's go and have a look at these large acrylic beads. Now we come through to our product display page. We've got lots of our products here, and we've got, the good thing here is we've actually got the same selection layout, the same product display method as we had on the home page and all those other areas. We've got the ability to buy directly from here. So keeping that the same throughout the site can really help increase conversions, because customers know where they're at and know what they're doing. But I would still love to see the stats of how many people are directly buying using this kind of multiple add to basket section. So here we've got, we got 21. So this is all the items in this category are here and now, but we have these quite impressive search filters, which are great down the size. So we can filter by size, by shapes, colours, and so forth. So that's going to be a really useful mechanism, especially in categories with more products in them. The thing that I'd be quite tempted to do on this page would be to lose this right hand column, so as we can get a fourth row of products coming down, because actually we're only seeing three across, and by this point people are really getting into the nitty-gritty of it. It might just free up a bit of space and make the site breathe a little bit more. So I'd be quite tempted to get rid of the special offers when you get to this point and just let people focus in on what they're doing, especially if those special offers aren't the type of bead they're looking for. One worth testing, I think. We have it currently sorted by most popular, so that's great. So these are the best sellers at the top. And we can then sort price and size as well. And we've got sale items in here as well as full priced items. So some really some great product photography going on here as well. Oh, all of a sudden I've been distracted by free downloads. Intriguing. Anyway, we shall look at those later if we have the time to do so. So let's go in and have a look at some of these beads a little bit more closely and have a look at some of the product pages. Wow, we've got cross-sells galore going on here, together with customer reviews and product FAQs. I would be putting the reviews, you've got the rating up here, okay, cool. I was going to say I'd be putting the reviews a lot closer to the add to bag, but you've got that up there, so that's great. We've got this product info, which gives us information about the product. We've got delivery, and we've got the returns, which are obviously the same on all products. We haven't yet got anyone sharing these, which is a shame, because they were one of the top sellers, according to the last page. And we've got a live customers also bought piece, which is great because that's even better than a cross-sell. But here we have a different product layout to the one we've had on previous pages. So we haven't got the ability to add a quantity right now. We've only got the buy now. I would definitely be adding in at least the quantity piece here, even if you can't add that full tick box and add everybody in. Because people are I guess a lot of people who are watching this review will be going 66 pence. 66 pence. That's it. That's crazy. So yeah, the people on this website who are shopping this website are going to be adding a lot of product to their basket, a lot of individual items, individual packs of beads because they're such low ticket prices. So you definitely want to be making sure those quantity options are here on the page. So I'm going to take a rough guess that if your customers also bought as working, then you're going to be having people seeing one product and then seeing matching beads that would go together with it into a piece. So what I want to do now, if we've got a few more minutes that we can run through this, is I want to take a look, not here on the product page, but take a look through into the design center and the type of project information, because the challenge for a business such as Beads Direct is to keep people buying lots of items, because they've got to buy many items really for it to be worth posting and packaging these things. And in the way of getting people to continue buying and to continue consuming those beads is to make sure that they've got lots of ideas of what to do with the new products and lots of ideas of what to do with beads in general. So it's great to see that they've got project section, they've got take a make break, which I'm still not quite sure what that is. We might have to look at that in a second. They've got videos, which I would guess is video tutorials of how to use the products. And they've got the blog, and they've got downloads of different competitions and various other things. So they're doing a lot to, as we can see here, there's an awful lot going on in this design center, which is very underrepresented on the homepage. So I'd be tempted to make more of this on the homepage because it's presumably quite a fantastic resource. So here's our projects area. And we've got, well, that's great. We've got some going into the world of Gatsby, i.e. the big movie that came out earlier this year. Bracelets. Let's go into this take a make break and find out exactly what's going on in there. So what is the idea of this take a make break? So it's every Sunday they do one of these, and they send out these simple, easy makes. So let's have a look at one of these then. Let's have a look at one of the reflection wrap bracelets. Oh, cool! And they're naming the designer here, so that it gives it a nice bit of kudos as well. So that's good. It's naming what's required and giving you the product codes for it. Some nice, straightforward written instructions. I'm guessing some people would want images for these, but as it's quite a simple one, I guess that's why we're keeping it just straightforwardly with the text. And these actually are getting a lot more traction than the products. So we've got Facebook likes, we've got pins going on here, so that's great. And then here we can see exactly which products we want. Now, this is the number one place where I want to be seeing the tick boxes happening that we saw on the other sides and the volumes. So that's a massive opportunity there to change the layouts of this particular page to make sure that we're using the same product layout that you've been using in other places. So people can literally just click and add the whole thing to the basket. But what happens if I click add all products to the basket? There we go. They've come into the basket section. So it does work, but you don't have the ability to drop one out or drop one in. So we've gone through the Beads Direct site and the many different ways in which you can look at their beads, and I think we've covered an awful lot of ground in terms of layout and how you focus and use those left and right hand menus. So thank you for coming along on our review today. As I said, my name's Chloe Thomas. I'm the author of the eCommerce MasterPlan. You can pick up a copy of the eCommerce MasterPlan or even the newer book, eCommerce Marketing, from ecommercemasterplan.com, as well as find out lots of other information about how to grow your e-commerce business faster, better and stronger. Thanks very much for paying attention today and for listening as we've gone through. I hope you've picked up some tips and tricks. And as ever, if you have any comments or questions, please do drop me a line. You'll find the contact details on the website. Thanks very much. Goodbye.